Greetings everyone, welcome aboard. Joseph James here, schooloftrade.com. Happy Thursday to you. It's October 7th, 2010. Here's our live trading recap. Now guys, we're talking the trades we took today. We took a bunch of winning trades today, had the biggest day of the year, biggest day of 2010 today in the live trade room. I want to remind you guys about our blog, guys. You can follow the blog. Click that follow me button at the bottom of the page there, guys. Don't forget, up top, trade room resources is a great spot to look. Got live webinar recordings up there as well. You got YouTube, Facebook, our online support's there. And don't forget, you can also search the blog for any previous topics we may have talked about if you have any questions about that. Guys, email me for a copy of everything, guys, if you have any questions. Also going to copy this worksheet. Let's see how we did today. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 total trades. 5 fast track trades. We stuck right with the gold and crude today. Euro was a mover, but Euro didn't give us as many opportunities. Russell was a flat, right? Flat as a board this afternoon. So really the gold and the crude gave us ample amount of opportunity. We got the day started off with a little bit of a rocky start after jobless claims, but boy, that quickly then deteriorated the downside. Everything started dropping when the dollar made new highs. 338 ticks, guys, 33.80. That's the biggest day by a long shot here. We had a huge day on Tuesday too, 27.80, guys. Guys, this is the best time to be trading with us in the room. If you're not a member yet, come out and join us. So gold and crude today, that brings 83.20 in this week, right? Over 830 ticks this week, guys, just this week. Monthly total 92.80, right? 9,000 bucks for the month, almost 10 grand for the month. And of course, just shy of 160,000 now for the year of profit here on only 4 contracts. Only 4 contracts, guys. So remember, this is a very small account. You don't need more than 1,000 bucks to come in here and start and trade with us every day. What's the most important thing that happened today? Well, we began with the dollar, of course, and we saw an outside day on the dollar. Now, an outside day means we're trading below or above the range from yesterday, right? It's an outside trading range. So what happened was we then defined a sideways range. We'll show you guys that in a second. Once we saw the outside day was there, we marked that down. Then we marked the highs and the lows of that range, right? And we waited for price to break out of that. Now, we talked about that today in our webinar today. We spent about a half an hour talking about how we look at the dollar. When the dollar's going sideways, a good way to trade with the dollar is to bracket the highs, bracket the lows, and then wait for the breakout. Okay, that was pretty much all we did in the dollar, and that was what led us into this big winning day today. 8:30 news came out this morning, jobless claims, nothing happened. Right? This is kind of a weird Thursday morning because at 8:30 nothing was moving, right? It was crickets chirping. Then at 8:45 dollar makes new highs, dollar tests the lows, right? And then all hell broke loose. So it was 8:30, we're sitting there going, where's the move? And then 8:45 rolls around, the dollar tests the low of the day. And oftentimes, guys, remember, if we test the highs or lows, that's just as important as if we break the highs or lows. So dollar tests the lows at 8:45, all hell breaks loose. The markets start driving to the downside. At 10:30, then the dollar then bounced to the upside and went sideways. Okay, so what ended up happening was from 8:45 till 10:30, we had this huge opportunity, all kinds of movement, big trades happening all over the place, most of them short, of course. But after 8:45, right, dollar test the lows, it bounced off those lows and then went to the upside, broke the highs, and then went sideways at 10:30. So we saw when the dollar was coming off the lows from 8:45 up to test the highs and break the highs at 10:30, that meant everything was dropping, right? Dollar's rising, everything else is dropping. But then at 10:30, everything kind of went to sleep, and so we pretty much sat on our hands and waited for the market to break out again. So we did this twice today. Right? We defined the sideways range of the dollar twice, and it helped us 2 times as well. All right, guys, let's take a look at the dollar here first. Here's my dollar. Get my hands dirty here. Here's my dollar. Now, of course, on the left side of your screen, this is what it looked like at 8 o'clock this morning. All right, here's at 8 a.m. this morning. And so what do we see here on the dollar at 8 a.m.? We see we have a sideways range. Right? There's your sideways range. But I can also see, though, right? I can also see that I'm below the range from yesterday. Okay, so I can clearly see 2 things. First thing is, it's an outside day. We're trading outside of the range from yesterday. Outside days, that's a good thing. Okay, second thing we saw here is we saw the highs and the lows of this range. So there's my low, there's my high. So we bracketed those highs and lows. And you can see here that I added in our price alert indicator. Okay, it's called the price alert indicator at 26, right, and 47.5. So what that basically told me is that once the dollar broke out, right, above or below, I was going to be notified by an alarm that goes off my computer. So guys, this is a real simple strategy. And of course, follow me over here to the right side now. Now fast forward to the end of the morning, and what do you see that happened? Well, there was that sideways range we're talking about. And again, like I said, okay, dollar comes down, tests the lows here, then goes up, breaks those highs. Okay, that's of course when the dollar is rising here, everything else is falling, right? We're going to start shorting the crude and the gold after that. And then the dollar went sideways. So after 10:30, the dollar went back to a sideways range. This time now inside, right? There's the range from yesterday up top here, right? It's now an inside day. Okay, so the range up top, I'm now trading in the range above us. So it becomes an inside day at 10:30. We know inside day, sideways market in the dollar. That means stay away from this trade, right? Stay away from this market. And that's exactly what we did. We stopped trading at 10:30, 10:45. Everything's history. Kept our money in our pockets, didn't give any back to the market. All right, so right here's my gold chart, and you can see we defined a sideways range here on gold. So what happened first is we had the dollar rising. I'm sorry, dollar falling, right? Dollar fell to test the lows. When the dollar falls, we saw gold rise. All right, so what happened was we broke this trend line, and I bought the break of the trend line. Okay, that was our first trade of the day, right? Buying the break of that trend line, buying the break of the wedge. Okay, but of course we didn't go very far because the dollar, which was dropping to test the lows, quickly bounced off those lows and then went to the upside. What happened then was gold then began to tumble. Okay, so gold jumps up when the dollar drops. Doesn't last there very long because the dollar was just bouncing off the low. Dollar was soon going to rise. Once that dollar bounced off those lows, all of a sudden gold, crude, euro, Russell begins to drop. Now, our important number here was the bottom of this range, 52.1. All right, 52.1. Once we broke below 52.1, we of course are below the previous triple bottom. But the biggest thing was, look at all this open space down here, right? We had all this open space to play with. So the goal was to be patient, buy the lows, sell the highs, but most importantly, if we did break below 52.1, which ended up happening here once that dollar began to jump, that was our entry for our most high percentage trades in the morning. And that's exactly what happened, guys. Okay, so here's the first trade of the day on gold. Now, a couple things here on gold you want to be looking at here. First of all is the previous high of day.